Okay, man. What's up, everybody, man? Somebody in my comment section, I think subscriber, put me on to two stories that I'm going to talk about, and I'm also going to talk about two other stories. So I'm going to upload. I'm going to make it, a triple story or like a quadruple story. I'm going to put all the stories that I have and topics into one video. So pretty much, it was this football player who had his whole future ahead of him, and he ended up trying to sneak a woman in the hotel room and ended up getting kicked out of the football team. Now, the funny thing about this shit is that none of the game dudes, none of the dating coaches, well, I think some of the dating coaches, but none of the game dudes are going to talk about how many niggas and how many black men lose their life, their futures, and in general lose to vagina. They're not going to tell you that there's so many men out here that lost to vagina, that the numbers are astounding. It's not the same numbers. If you put the number of guys who lost their life and lost their finances and lost their whole futures to vagina, I don't think it will rival World War II numbers in terms of deaths. But I think it will rival something smaller than that, because I know that a lot of guys lost everything to vagina. Black men are losers to women in general. That's why I had made a video that black men are the most controlled by women, because we always lose to women. Now, we got a group of men for the past 15 years who don't want to lose to women, and they don't. Their interactions mean they don't lose to women because they're smart about it. But this example right here alone, and they not touching this story, is show you that the game don't work. Because no matter how he try to maneuver around it, he got caught and got kicked out. So this is a normal example of, on a world stage, on how many black dudes will give up everything just for vagina, just to feel what's in between a woman's legs. Like, some white dudes, it's a joke in the white community, in the racist white community, is that black men's penis is so large is that they can't control their sexual nature, and that's the reason why a lot of them end up hurt, K-I-L-L, and that's the reason why a lot of them don't want to do better in life, because they feel like if they do better in life, they're not going to get the women. And I don't subscribe to that, but it's like a lot of dudes do subscribe to that kind of concept. So you proving the racist white boys kind of correct the way y'all maneuver out here and throw other men under the bus because you think you get more vagina than they do. It's fueling the fire to these racist dudes. So let me talk about another one. One of my subscribers, commenters, put me on a story with this dude walking around trying to use pickup lines for women in 2020. So I did my little research and found out that half of the chicks that he talking to are paid. And it's like, what is the optics of you going up to women pretending like you spitting game? What, you want men to do this shit in 2020? I think it's this trap that I told you about in another video, that they're trying to send you out there so you can be a crash test dummy and feed the egos of these women. Remember, this machine, just like the football player, it feeds the egos of women. These guys are agents. They're made here to make women feel good about themselves. Because let me tell you what the modern day women live off of. They live off your pleasure. They live off the ability to make you cry, make you die, and make you weak, so they can feel stronger. And they also have this power trip thing where they think that they can feed their ego. No matter how damaged they is, they will still go back to something that makes them feel their ego. This is why you gotta 39-year-old Tia Sweet, who was a top adult film star in the black sector of adult industry. She now comes out looking really trash and nasty. Decided she want to make a OnlyFans. Making an OnlyFans now. And I can't believe that, you know, she deleted all the negative comments and she kept the good comments. We all remember Tia Sweets. You grew up on Tia Sweets. But, like, this is the ego that these women have. These are the egos that these women have out here now. They don't... It feels like they can do whatever they want as long as they giving stuff to... Giving things to guys that they think don't got it. And it's funny thing that most of the dudes who pay OnlyFans are guys who get vagina. So I also wanted to toss that shit out there. There was somebody out there who told me, who worked closely to OnlyFans, who told me that most of the dudes who pay for OnlyFans are not guys who don't get vagina. It's mostly guys who do get vagina, but they don't get the vagina they want. And then like about 20% of it is guys who don't get vagina because they want to have the inactivity with women. And that's the whole point of the OnlyFans shit, is that they're making you pay money to talk to them. They're making you pay to call them on their phone. They're making you pay to interact with them. And the funny thing about this is that these are the same thoughts and same, you know, charlatans who don't want to pay their student loans back. These are the same charlatans that don't want to pay a medical bill. These are the same charlatans that don't want to pay certain things out here that is high price, but they want to make you pay for every action so they can feed their ego. Like I can tell you right now, if feminism goes to like 50%, half of these women, most of these women are going to eliminate themselves. You know why? Because a lot of these women are lingering based off the fact that they have men on a hook to feed their egos. A lot of these women are literally empty. They're empty inside. I see a lot of adult film stars gassing themselves up, and then they go on this tirade of wanting to kill themselves, wanting to take off themselves. I mean, I forgot how many posts that I seen of women saying they want to end their lives. And that's the adult industry. A lot of them want to end their lives because they don't have real connections. A lot of them order the menu on their favorite item on the menu and eat it until they become sick from it, or until they become till something happen, until their body fail them from eating too much of what they like. Sometimes you got to eat something that you don't like in order to be healthy, but a lot of them don't want to do that. So that's why they, you know, walk around with mental health illness. They got to take a whole bunch of medications. This system is all they have. This is why there's less women who eliminate themselves than men. Because in this society, it tells them to hang on as long as they do these 4, 5, 6, 7 things. So this guy is a part of the programming to try to feed you into the system so you can be anything that these women want. You either be an emotional sponge for these women, or you be a financial tool for them, or you be a ego boost, or you be something else. You be something that whatever they want in their head. You know, they want to ruin your life because it makes them feel good about themselves. And I'm also going to move on to, you know, the guys. Another big top adult film star got hit with allegations again with his ex-girlfriend, who I blame both of them, but I blame the chick more often than the dude, because the dude who he was who he was before she got with him. But this guy was sent to me pretending like he somehow a player, and he pays all these women. He pays all these women to pretend like he got game. And the funny thing is that the game dudes and people really think that this dude have real game, because I seen the comment sections on like multiple videos that he had, and all I see is him, you know, pretending like he he has some type of game and stuff. And I'm like, and people like, no, he paid women. Like, that's what he does. He's a comedian. He pays women. He pays these Instagram models to act like in a scenario, and people don't get it, and they believe this shit. And Zero was right about that when he said these dudes, it'll destroy their hope. I think along with the women, if the feminism change and it goes to 50%, these dudes gonna jump out windows and do all types of stuff. One brother in this manosphere, his brother just ended himself, and I'm not gonna say the name. He said it on the stream that his brother ended his life, had a hole in his head and whatever, and he found them, and he got women. But the one thing about this is that the more often when you get stuff of the flesh, you got to pay attention to how much is being taken from you. Sometimes too much is taken from a person and they can't replace it. And this is what happens when you have so many social interactions and you doing so much for people and nobody doing nothing for you, only but the superficial stuff. They're not replacing certain things that you gave out to other people, and that's the emotions and all the energy and all the stuff that you have inside you. It must be replaced, or you must regain it back every single day. When you don't regain it back, then sometimes it causes mental illness, mental instability, lack of energy, spiritual energy, and lack of physical energy, and eventually you go straight down. And then that's when the whole thing with the whole ending your own life comes in part, because a lot of people give too much of themselves and they don't have time. They don't spend enough time to themselves. They don't spend enough times with people who actually do give each other what they're missing or what they give out. So pretty much I want to say that right there, and I talked about this. Now I see this right here. A lot of them, as I told you, they have an ego boost. So this chick says, if a sex worker ever had a legit dated you, that is a privilege. So a chick, I told you about this. I told you about this whole egotistical bullshit that they on, with they thinking that they're better than normal chicks. And they try to sell themselves like how, you know, they can fill your sexual needs. But a lot of them are single. A lot of them are alone, single, and a lot of them take their own lives. Like I said before, they're empty. But for some reason, it's a privilege to get with a sex worker. Wow. And like I said, it's unlimited. Twitter is a cesspool. So Super Sly made a video. You know, I pay attention to people that I don't like. And I see what they say on videos and see if it condemns him. Because ever since he came, you know, against SYSBM and everything else, and then all this other stuff that he did, I find it funny that this dude always used the talking points of SYSBM or like comments that with guys that he said don't get women. So there's a certain situation that happened with Michael B. Jordan that an assistant say he was flirting with him. A male assistant said Michael B. Jordan was on the other side. Now, this is what I said about the whole social interaction shit, is that if you know, people can benefit off of telling lies about you to make themselves look good based off who you are and what reputation you have, so they can ruin your reputation. So that's why I said I made that friendship video about how dangerous it is and how sometimes it's good to have friends. And I gave you the goods and the bads of it. This is one of the bads of it that I said in that video. So they made a point of proving the point that what I said, this is why social interaction is dying slowly. Good content as well, brother Sly. Social interaction is dying. Social interaction is dying. But these are the same dudes who try to rush you into social interactions and say it's something wrong with you and you need to change your circle. You need to change your environment. You need to change this and change this and change that and change this and change that. They don't say it in an environment of saying, okay, you need to get the hell out of this country, or you need to get around culture people. They just say, oh, you need to change this and change that, because they try to blame you because you had a problem with what society is. Now, when people come from a standpoint of telling you, okay, you don't need to be around these type of people, they don't shame you. They just tell you, stop being around these people. Go outside the country. Go in another culture. Look at other cultures. That's how you change your environment. Be around a different group, a set of people who got a different environment. who got a family oriented and all that other stuff that other people have more than black people. So let me so Ricky Johnson and Kendra Spades had a big beef and tiffle over content they shot together because they was going out for like a year or so, I think. The funny thing about these porn chicks, I mean these adult film star chicks, is that they only go with dudes because these guys are packing, but they can never keep a relationship. I mean, Kissa Sims and Johnny Sims separated. All that good sex, and they couldn't keep them together. Honey Gold and Donnie Sins, their relationship couldn't together. Honey Gold blamed him for her trying to commit herself out of the world. Now we got another relationship that went in badly with Ricky Johnson and Kendra Spades. So Kendra Spades came on and was told that Ricky was posting her content or posting the stuff that she told him she didn't want posted of them together. So it was kind of like her being like, I don't want other people to know that I was together with you, and I don't want to ever remember us being together because I made a mistake. I was a dumb chick who thought that good penis mean you're a good person, or I thought that good penis mean that you was going to be a good person and we was going to stay in a relationship. And she probably cheated on she probably cheated on another man to get with Ricky. And she left a good guy or somebody good to get with Ricky, and the guy probably didn't take her back. See, a lot of these adult film stars, when they do hook up with their castmates or the professional people, it always sometimes ends badly. You always see it how it ends, and it ends real badly. And sometimes when the women get with normal guys, the men making it known. Okay, you had all the biggest penises in the world and all this other stuff, so you're not gonna shoot with dudes anymore. Usually a lot of chicks, like I told you before, like a couple minutes ago, a lot of these chicks are devolved of real love, genuine connection. So when they meet that guy they can connect with, they'll literally drop all the big penis men, and they'll drop all the guys that are super handsome and sexy to get with this guy and to fulfill this man's dream. So when the guy tells them, cut it out, you're not shooting with black guys, you're not shooting with guys, you're not shooting with guys. A lot of these chicks go the LGBTQ community route. They only shoot with girls. And if they shoot with guys, they shoot with the guy that she with another girl. So she making the guy's dream come true and making sure, because the guy come to the table saying, okay, I want to get as many bodies as you is, and I want you to prove to me that you're worth me being in a relationship with. And sometimes it usually work out, but in the form of what is that guy? Lori Love or whatever, Lori whatever her name is. That guy dumped her because he had his feel. He was a nerdy guy who dumped a top adult entertainer and made her cry, and she made videos about him like, I can't believe this, I don't want nobody to go after him, but I love him. And then she went on Twitter talking about, if he comes back to this, I'm gonna trap him with a baby, and then he ain't gonna ever leave me again. And like he not gonna see what she said. So a lot of these chicks, if you get involved with them, they become spiteful, and they try to shoot you with a Me Too, and it always ends like this. So Kendra took to Twitter today to call her ex-boyfriend for posting revenge porn. I used to date a guy in the industry. We had a bunch of videos together, and we split. We agreed we wouldn't upload them for free to Pornhub. Today, while on the site, I realized he decided it was a good idea to fully upload it. So pretty much she wanted to get paid for her time with him. And this is what it cuts down to. This is why I told you getting with these women in a country, in America, is a foolish idea, because nothing is genuine with these women. It's all about them. It's not about both of y'all. It's about them. And that's a sad thing. And that's the reason why a lot of guys are not biting on the fact that being sold with these women. Now, a lot of guys are getting in a relationship with these women. That's on them. So if stuff failed, they can't. I want more men to start closing their doors on these dudes. When we tell these dudes about the women and everything else, and they still get with these women and marry them, they can never enter into, you know, once they've been told that what it works and what's happening out here, if they go and decide to get with these women, guess what? Lock the door behind you and never let them in your group ever again. And don't even associate with them. If something went bad, let them stew out there. Let them find some other support group. Because, you know, sometimes it's, you know, sometimes you win some, you lose some. Sometimes when you tell people the best things and you just wasting your breath, leave them out there. Let them be example to other people. Like, oh, I don't have a group to go to. Now, that'll teach you that if we tell you not to do something or try to tell you, school you on something, you better take precautions or you better try to listen to us. Because we was only trying to help you. Now, that guy's on the street or whatever doing what he doing and got hit with me too. Just look at him as an example, not to mess with these women out here. So, pretty much, that was the dynamic of their relationship. All the videos of her getting smashed by him. Yeah, I admit it, she's a cutie. I like her. She's, I think, Filipino or something. She got a little cute face and a okay body. I think to me, she's a rank 2. She's a rank 2, and she's in my tier system of look, she's a bronze in the body, pretty much normal. Her body ain't stellar, but when she's like, because I think she gained some weight or whatever. But at first she was a silver, but now she's a bronze, and her face is a silver. With makeup, her face is a gold. Overall, she's a bronze. Because you could find her in other countries. You could find a better looking women than her from the country she's from. So he was able to get all these women. And all the women like him. Just like this other guy that I posted, all the other guys that I posted. They're sex symbols. They're sex slaves. They're sex monkeys for women. And that's all they do. That's all they are. But a lot of these women don't approach it as sex, because a lot of these women are emotional creatures. So eventually they will want a relationship with these guys. Oh, it's a good idea to get with this guy, even though he's arrogant and all this other stuff. And then when it ends bad, they try to blame the guy, but they have a blueprint in order to just blame the guy and walk out of the relationship without any blame. So it's a notification out there from y'all. It's a notification for y'all that, hey man, don't get with these women, man, because eventually the breakup is going to be beneficial to her. And I'm gonna pass on to that later on, where you get in a relationship. It's mutual agreement that y'all break up, and it's mutual agreement that y'all had fun with each other. And that the base off, look, I can tell you right now, the real good women out here would never maliciously go after you. You can tell how good a woman is after you made her mad or after you break up with her. If she lets you go without any kind of breaking your property, saying some malicious stuff to you, she was a good woman all along. This is why a lot of the people who break up with their girlfriend or break up with somebody, eventually get back together. They just needed to be apart. At least they get back together because they understand that, hey, he didn't do nothing to me, she didn't do nothing to me, I'm getting back with her. And they be happy ever after. Sometimes they don't get back together, but the sign of a true good woman is somebody who actually doesn't maliciously go after you, take you for all your money, and treat you like shit after they finish done with you. And a lot of women show that they ain't good after the relationship breaks up. They trash their ex-husband, start telling lies, and you show that they wasn't really good in the first place. And it shows this chick, she ain't really good. She just a nut rag for guys, or a spank material for guys. So she kind of destroyed her own stereotype. So there was a video about this dude right here and his wife coming on video about marrying a Filipino, and everybody had talked about this guy. and him marrying this Filipino, and I think it happened in 2008. I remember this. I remembered it, slightly remember it, but now I'm gonna get in the interracial section. But they're still together. People think that she got arrogant because she left she left the Philippines and got with a black guy, and she never tried to trade up to a white guy, and all the white guys was mad and all the Filipino dudes was mad because she was talking about her own race of people. But this is what Asian women do all the time with white guys, but they don't have a problem when they do that. So I'm gonna tell you about the bias and stuff, and I'm gonna also tell you that everybody going interracial. I think the whole problem to fix the relationship stuff is to go interracial or go in another ethnicity, because the fact is, because if your race is ruined by politics and all this other stuff, you want to get with something fresh and brand new. You don't want to get with the same people that you don't want to be with. So I'm gonna show you that after this. I just wanted to show you that. Also, a lot of guys brag on the women they got, and when they get with people, it was a situation between Geekdom 101 and Bray Wyatt. So Geekdom 101 talked about how JoJo, this sexy ass black mixed chick, the daughter of a football player, and then she tried to become a wrestler, but she was an announcer. She got with Bray Wyatt when he was married, and he decided to cheat on his wife with her because he leveled up. The reason why she went with Bray Wyatt is because she could manipulate Bray Wyatt, because she was all around a lot. Rumored as it is, I think I want to say it the right way. Rumors said that she slept around the whole locker room, and none of the guys bite off of what she was selling. A lot of guys didn't want to keep her, but Bray Wyatt, when she went around Bray Wyatt, she wanted to see if she got a top wrestler, and guess what? She kept Bray Wyatt and made Bray Wyatt cheat on his wife, and now she got 2 kids with the guy. She don't look the same, but now she got her comfy house with her wrestler. And a lot of these women, I could tell you right now, there's a lot of women who right now fighting. There's a lot of women out here who how can I put it? There's a lot of women out here right now who's starting to realize that feminism and all the stuff that they've been told their whole life is kind of messing them up in the head. And a lot of them get out of that real quick. It's a lot of YouTube couples on here that's mismatched, and you see the chick who used to be in videos, and you see a good-looking chick who used to, she used to be like a chick who she looks like a pass around. And then you be like, why is she with him for so long? Because she knew she took the cue from men to look and see that, oh shit, I don't want to turn out like these women, because a lot of these women are on autopilot. Like I said, they're empty inside, and the only thing they can do is keep their looks up in order to get attention and to keep the money flowing, because it makes them feel good. And also they keep the sex going. It's kind of like a drug addict or alcoholic. They are addicted to the feeling of being powerful. They're addicted to the feeling of good sex. They're addicted to the feeling of men being able to control men through their looks. So they have to keep their looks up. This is why they get breast implants. This is why they get butt implants. This is why they put OnlyFans. This is the reason why they cut themselves up to try to make themselves look good. This is why they got lip implants. This is the reason why they be like 40 years old and 50 years old, not married, or hide their husbands, and then you don't see their husbands in none of the pictures they in, but you see her in the gym. This is the reason why a lot of them in gym, because they want the attention. Even if they're not gonna mess with none of the men, they still want the attention of men. It's addicting. And a lot of these women, I put them in the same category as addicts. A lot of them are drug addicts. And are drug addicts that most of them, some of them OD on it, and some of them still are walking around scratching for another high of attention and attention from men. And I'm like, I kind of look at him like, wow. When I started breaking it down in my own head, and I started a couple years ago, I'm like, wow, these women are fucked up in the head, man. They fucked up, man. And that's the reason why they go to the gym. This is the reason why, you know, you see them old. A lot of these things are coping mechanisms. A lot of them are things that keep them alive in this world. A lot of the things that keep them on this drug called attention, sex, and all this other stuff. A lot of them would get with guys who they would never get with in their old age in order to get the sex they want from a guy. And they know the young guy's gonna put in a lot of work because he never had the sex that he wanted, even from a chick that's used up. And that's the game they're playing, but it's breaking down. That industry is breaking down. And eventually, the guys that are buying OnlyFans that can't get women, they're gonna move to a better site. So with this chick JoJo, she just grabbed the right guy at the right time. And then this is JoJo Hoffman. She comes from a rich family. She messing around with Bray Wyatt, not for the money, but because she likes him because of his personality. Despite him lacking a fat near belt, believe in yourself. And then Bray Wyatt posted him. Didn't know that this guy, I think he later apologized for this that he did to Geekdom. Didn't know Geekdom was already married. I don't know if his wife is attractive, but Geekdom was already married, and he tried to put him out there because Geekdom don't look like this, you know, suave dude. And he was being sarcastic, like he liked him for his personality. No, she liked him because he was the only one who bit on her relationship bug. A lot of these women, they put their head in knowing that they high value women. And the reason why these guys got these women around is because these women are high value women, sexually high value. This is the reason why Nate Got Keys don't want to be with Michaela no more, because Michaela is a wait. The reason why Nate Got Keys don't want to be with Michaela no more is because Michaela's sexual market position has went down. He used her body to the point where he's tired of it. Plus, he's seen that her numbers didn't get up there, and men don't want her no more. A lot of guys keep women around as trophies to try to hold it up to other men and say, hey, I got this woman and you don't got this woman. I got this woman and you don't. And their relationship lasts based off that. But with the woman's side, with the men's side, the woman could be with the woman, with the man, also with the man. She could be annoying. She can be all this other stuff. But this guy keeps her around because everybody else wants her. With the woman's side, she legitimately wants to be in a relationship because she doesn't want to go out there. Because by contrary to popular belief in America, a lot of these women have a lot of choices. But when it comes down to the choices that they actually want in a man, they want too much. And also what they want is they're going to have to go through 1,000 guys. So a lot of them are going to have to jump on top of 1,000 guys just to catch that one guy. Despite what y'all think and what people try to go out there and tell you, a lot of these good-looking women are just, they go to the right they jump on the right penis, and then that's how they get into a relationship. And they give it to everybody. Most of them give it to everybody to see if who will actually bite, just like this chick did herself. They do the same pattern. They jump on somebody. Oh, he might be lucky to have me, and I might got this guy. And they think that you're going to submit to him, because a lot of them are in their stages that they want a relationship, and a lot of them do look good in their prime years, and they actually cut their bullshit short. You know, it's a lot of women who have their fun for 3 years, and then the 4th year they still look good and still look hot, but a lot of them got mental problems. A lot of them have mental problems, and a lot of them they can't hold a relationship. So it has to be beneficial from both sides. So let's So I dig deep in this YouTube channel with the interracial couples. And it came to my conclusion that a lot of these interracial couples, I think the whole answer to a lot of people's problem is interracial couples. And I think every other race understood that for them to actually go out and date, they need to go date interracially. You know, I'll put the top guys over here, right? White women and black men. That's been going on for hundreds of years, right? But there's a section of reason why a lot of white women choose black guys is because a lot of white women don't feel desirable by white men. And it's the basic necessities that a lot of them don't make. A lot of white guys are very steep with their, when it comes to the women and how they want their women to look. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and all this other stuff. But they're also at the same time, a lot of women see that a lot of white guys get away with a lot of things. It's many different things that comes into the fact that a lot of white guys don't do it for women. It's not because the BBC, it's because a lot of white women are bored with that regular lifestyle. So a lot of them will go with a black guy, and they will take their traditional values and their good lifestyles to the black guy, and they will stay with that black guy. I see a couple YouTube couples that been together for 5 years, 3 years. And the woman is not really, how can I put it? She's not really overly attractive, but you can see her attractiveness towards the guy. You know, you see the togetherness and the looks and, you know, the stuff like that. And they might got a few features that really look good. Like you got, you know, some of the chicks, one chick that I've seen, she's tall. She has nice hair and she has nice eyes. And her skin tone, which you see white, but she has a better skin than other women out there, other white women. Also, she has, you know, certain looks or whatever, right? She has certain features that are very attractive. So you know why she with that black guy. But also the black guy, she might have, you know, I've seen a couple videos of them together and seen they genuinely like each other because they've been together for 3 years. So a lot of them don't, by popular belief, a lot of white women don't go after guys just for the BBC. They go after them because it's different. They don't want to be in their culture no more. And feminism really ruined a lot of women, but it also ruined a lot of men. So they want to go towards men that will take care of them, that won't have feminine traits, and men that are starving deviles. And they see just how, and also white women see just how bad good men get treated in the black community. So a lot of them just, you know, pick up and take up all the good men, or some of the men that black women don't want. White men and Asian women. White women and Asian women. I see a lot of that now. A lot of white guys out here with Asian women because a lot of them started this whole feminism stuff and all this other stuff. And a lot of them, that wasn't in their generation. They had to pay for it. So a lot of them don't want to mess with white girls ever. Some of them racial because they like, okay, they with black guys. I get with women that will like me for who I am and all this other stuff. And then you might have white guys who, you know, can't get no woman or whatever. Like they say black guys can't do it. But then they'll get with them and they will make it last. And a white and an Asian women, they would date out because they don't like the traditions. But they also want the status that comes with going with a white guy, so they'll get with that guy. So there's many different reasons. White women and Asian men. Now you got a lot of white women, European women, white women from other countries that I've seen. I got white women from UK, white women from Russia that I got. I'm gonna put it in the description, where you see that these women are reclusive and they don't fit what their race, what their ethnicity of background ethnicity of men like. They're not that way. Just kind of how a black guy is quiet and reclusive. He's better off with an Asian chick than he's with a black chick who's fake reclusive, and then she want to go outside and walk and cosplay and all this other stuff. You see that these women, you see some of these women, they're with these guys and they speak the language. They go to extra yard to actually speak the language of the men that they with. You know, you got a lot of interracial white and Asian couples, or Asian men and white different white women in Korea, the unoppressed part, like South Korea. So you see it, and you see the the dynamic between them, and they actually genuinely like each other. Because some of them are in the UK, some of them are in Korea, and you see the woman, she actually speaks better Korean than the guy who was born there and speaks it fluently. So you see that they care about each other. And you see a lot of white women who see, like, I don't want black guys, I'm not attracted to them. I'm not attracted to white guys no more because they treated me bad or whatever. And they get to a point where they like, I don't want to be with them. I want to go to Asian guys. So they go to Asian guys, and they end up finding the person they love. They don't give a fuck about the penis size. This is why I said that penis size shit is a phenomenon all around the world that is overhyped and is overrated. So black men, Asian men, and black women, the percentage is low. Let's be real. Black women who ain't really attractive, they get Asian guys, they try to take advantage of them. But a lot of black women are victims of black women who try to teach them wrong. And they also victims of black men who don't want to tolerate their shit. So guys like myself will say, I don't want a black chick because of all the shit that I've seen. And I don't believe them. But a lot of the black women who they don't want to perform the show that they actually are good women to black men, they'll do that to an Asian guy because they think the Asian guy is a new start. So a lot of them go on their way. I'm not making excuses for them, but I see the dynamics because I see a lot of black women who don't want nothing to do with black guys or white guys, but they would get with an Asian dude. Black women, white men, we already know the answer to that. Black men and Hispanic women. I see a channel called John and Ida, and she said she met him in the gym, and you know the dynamic between them, and she speaks Spanish and stuff to him, and John, the dynamic is crazy between them two, and it seemed like they genuinely liked each other, and they got a daughter and everything else. So it's a different thing between them. You know, a lot of black men got treated like shit by black women, and a lot of them don't want white women because they think white women are unreachable and unattainable. So also they don't want Asian women because Asian women don't want black men at a higher rate. So they say, okay, I can't get these two, I'm gonna get with a Latino. And then sometimes the Latina, she got treated bad by her race of guys. So she said, fuck this. I don't want to be with none of these dudes no more. I'm going to get with a black guy. And she gets the black guy, and she gets with the right one. And she says, okay, this guy's enough to keep me fulfilled for the rest of my life. I could bring my culture to this black man. And he's bringing his kindness and goodness that he learned from his past of his dealing with black people, and he bringing the best of a black person to me, and it works out. White women and white men and Hispanic women. So it's a big thing too. You know, white men go to Latin countries and stuff, and sometimes it's successful. I know one guy that was in the military that went with this Dominican chick that I was trying to talk to back then. She was the Dominican model, and she had an 8-year-old at the time. I think that the kid was 8 years old at the time, right? She married this dude, and he popped 2 babies in her and bounced. And she blocked everybody. She blocked me. She blocked half of the black people that she had on her thing for her military boyfriend, her military husband. And the military husband ended up turning on him and doing, you know, what the white dudes always do, and pretty much bounce. They're legendary for bouncing out of their families and leaving the women high and dry. Then they try to put that out there for the black dudes, but they don't do that like that. But the dynamic between the Latinos and white men, a lot of white men will, you know, they genuinely like their Latino and they'll keep her around. But a high majority of these white dudes, they will literally just use these Latinos for like sex and bragging rights. And then eventually they dump them and bounce, even if they give them kids. But the dynamics between them is pretty much, it's a low-high thing. High successful rate, like a real like mid-tier successful rate, and a high like failure rate sometimes that I seen. Black men and Indian women. So that's a low percentage of that I see out there. But when it does happen, they stay together. I see a lot of Indian black couples, when they get together, they face a lot of bad shit. Their family disown them. People talking trash about them, calling them names and all this other stuff. And then in that terms, the guy that's with this Indian woman, it triggers what's inside of him with all the stuff that he had to deal with. Usually the men who get with Indian women are top tier, are nice guys. They're the nicest guys. I say usually. They get with these women and they stay with them because they see how this chick struggled to be with him. So they like, okay, I'm gonna make a family. We gonna create our own generation. We gonna be together forever. And a lot of them, when a woman gives up her whole family for you, and gives up her, breaks her culture with you and give her family, you have nothing. You can't help but stay loyal to her and be there for her every day, even if she annoy you. You work it out. And that's the genuine relationship between Indian women and black men, because a lot of them deal with persecution. A lot of black men who dealt with, oh, you're a weirdo, you're this and this and that. And a lot of these Indian chicks dealt with, oh, you got to deal with this, you got to deal with that. So they're like, I want to be free to deal with him. You don't like me, you like me, you like me. You don't, you don't. Black women and Indian men, it's a low percentage. A lot of women don't really like Indian men like that. I don't think so. But there are couples out there that I've seen that didn't work out, and the guy ended up like dumping her and leaving the kids. It was one girl that she was so hyped to have her little Indian boyfriend or Indian husband, and she showed him every video. And then when they broke up, she exposed and said, oh, he didn't really want the kid. No. She came with her feminist point of views in a relationship, and he was more traditional, and she was trying to push his tradition out the window. She was trying to override his traditions and try to make him do housework, but he's not a man like that. He comes home after 16 hours of work and he want the house clean, and she don't want to clean the house. She don't want to do anything. So that's why the relationship broke up. And that's the biggest problem between black and Indian. Black women and Indian men is black women come with their feminist point of view, and they don't want to acclimate into the lifestyle of being with an Indian man, a culture guy. Black men can easily adapt into the culture of another culture, and to basically connect with their wife. But a lot of black women that get with certain other races, they don't want to speak the language. They don't want to go with the culture. They don't want to do none of that. Asian women and Hispanic men, it happens. I seen a couple, a Brazilian chick, and I think Japanese or Korean guy. So it does happen. I seen it. That's the only one that I've seen. I never actually go out there, and then I lack the research of that. But when I did see it, she spoke his language. And a lot of these women, like I said before, when you start mixing with other people, you finally found a bond that you was looking for within your race that you couldn't find. You couldn't find that kind of stuff in your race, because a lot of people come with their fake shit. And if you can get with an Asian chick, an Asian chick who's as introvert as you, because a lot of these chicks, I asked a lot of couples, the couples that I asked, I mean not the couples, but the dude that I asked him, how many times a day you go out? And he says, we don't go out a lot. We stay in the house. He tells me the dynamic of the relationship is that half of the mixed race relationships with black guys and other races and women, they stick to these black dudes like glue. And they also do what these guys says. Also, they don't want to go out a lot. They want to stay in the house under him. And if they do go out, they set up going out once or twice a week. Unlike the so-called black woman who's so-called nerdy, and she wants to go out every fucking day and cosplay and want to gain all this attention. And that's why I said how fake it is. So, but if you see the dynamic between Asian women and Asian men and Hispanic women, you know, it's a different dynamic. So, but by me saying all this stuff right here, right? A lot of people end up the solution to their problem, their dating problems, and the dating problems they have, the so-called sex problem they have. A lot of people already solved their problem. Black men were the last ones to the party. I think so, because I mean, I've been so-called SYSBM, but a lot of black men feel like they late to the party, and the younger generation finally got it. You got to leave these old dudes behind. You got to leave these old men that want you to deal with these black women because so-called fat booties, and get that shit out of there. You don't want to deal with no stress shit. You want to deal with somebody who you gonna mesh with, and you want to contain a long-lasting relationship and then a family with. And usually now it seems like with feminism destroying everything and all this other stuff going on in the world, everybody is opting out their own race. And it seems like worldwide, people are leaving their countries, going to another country, leaving their race, going to another race. So it ain't a bad thing. It's only a bad thing because black men, for some reason, they think black men are gonna stampede and take all the women, which I think is untrue, because if a woman is not attracted to a black guy, she's not going to go with a black guy. So to me, it's all like kind of like insecurities, which I tell them straight away, like, dude, I'm not trying to take none of it. I'm just trying to find my chick and I'm going to be done with it. So pretty much this was about basically everybody already went SYSBM. A lot of people, a lot of other races of men, Asian men, the so-called least desirable men, black men can learn from the least desirable men. White men, incels, and white guys who this and that. You can learn from them because they already left their women behind. Asian guys already seen that their women betrayed them. Latino guys already seen how their women treat them. They left their women. They left. A lot of them traded in their women for other races of women. So you need to do the same. Don't stick with them, because once you, like I said, the whole point of you getting your shit together is to customize your life the way you want it, not to deal with shit that you don't want to deal with. When you get money, you gotta put a limit on. You gotta put a limit on everything, on who you deal with. When you get money, you're able to get what you want when you want it, in the parameters of the law and in the parameters of the order in the society. But when you get your shit together and you able to get the money that you want to get, you're able to travel, you're able to customize your life, you're able to get any technology you want, you don't have to stay in one place. You won't be sexless no more. You don't let people to tell you that failed at their whole generation tell you what to do. So a lot of guys are now, the best choice is to leave. If you can't get nobody here, you can get somebody overseas. And you can be happy. And you can find somebody who will fit what you want. If you're a reclusive guy, that you stay in the house and, don't go out to parties and drinking and shit, you can actually find that one woman that's actually going to stick by you and not go out and stick by you and stuff. Like I said, it's everybody's finding who they want when they go to another race of people. And for some reason, it magically happens all the time. A lot of guys have stories of how they met and this and that. And a lot of these chicks have hit and passes. But they never brought their hit and passes to the guys where they try to make them wait longer than they have to wait for the chicks. It's a Jamaican and a Latino couple called, I think, Leanne and I forgot his Shane. They a little couple. She was a single mom. And she respects that dude. I mean, she was kind of violent in the beginning. But then she started to evolve herself because she started to look kind of crazy towards him. And he took her daughter in. The interracial relationships seem like it's going to be a best bet for guys, especially black men. Take the cues from everybody else. We finally start to get it. I'm talking about everybody else finally start to get it. And I want the younger generation to be happy. I don't want y'all out here going to divorce court and none of this other bullshit. I want y'all to deal with women who, if y'all break up and y'all have a bad relationship or whatever, y'all can have y'all disagreements and y'all can just deal with each other on some co-parent or whatever stuff, or deal with somebody who actually is good after y'all break up. So yeah, that's about it, man. Almost an hour, but yeah, man, I'll probably scrap that all into one. Like I said, man, in the beginning of this video, you know, don't lose the vagina. Don't get trapped up with these people. Don't let these charlatans and get you trapped up. And also look at the examples of what other men do. Because no matter what they say about the Asian dude's smart enough to know that his women didn't want him like that. And was smart enough to know that, guess what? There's a white girl just like him in a different body who got blonde hair and blue eyes and acts just like an Asian chick. There's an Asian chick who acts the way you want her to act. She just comes in a different package. Like, it's no reason to stay in a race of people and then dig through trash just to find something good in the trash. Like, it's better to just bounce and leave. And let me shout out to oh yeah, let me tell y'all what happened, dog. So Jessica X got hit with a virus, and she don't get it that incel shit, she made incels mad. She made incels mad, and I was trying to tell stupid ass Reg the bad guy that's one of the reasons why his channel got fucking hacked, because he kept fucking he kept going at incels. He kept talking shit. So what happened was Jessica X, somebody through the Great Rod told me that incels hacked her, was put a malware on her system, and it made sure that she wasn't gonna be able to come online. And they're gonna make sure that she gonna break her stuff because that incel stream made them mad. So I keep telling dudes out here that you keep coming at incels and telling them they this and they that, they attack you in another way. And then some people try to sell me that, you know, the 17-year-old that hacked all the pages was a so-called incel, or he was aligned with some incels. So I'm telling y'all, like, right now that that Jessica X chick, man, she made an incel mad. She made a couple incels mad enough to go attack her shit, and they made sure that she wasn't going to scream or come online like that. Oh, technical difficulty? No, you did the wrong thing, and then you came online, and then you keep talking. Oh, but my bad. Where Ghetto Techie at? Where they do that? Why did he protect you from being hacked, or them sending you malware? Oh man, where Ghetto Techie at? Where Gabe A at? Remember when y'all laughed at me and told me that I didn't have hackers? Oh, remember that, huh? Remember that, huh? I remember y'all laughing at me in DJ Kuda's panel and stuff on chat, telling me, ha ha ha, he gonna get hackers on me. Oh, well, you got hacked now. You got hit with malware. And where Gabe A at? And I'm so happy that everybody's calling out Gabe A. I'm happy that people calling out GA Boy. I'm happy that people call Ghetto Techie out. I'm happy that people calling these dudes out and kicking them out of chats. Like, MOT kicked out Mella because he didn't want to hear her bullshit, and I'm happy this happening. We need the space need cleaning, man. The space need to be created from the ground up, man. Like I made a video back then. This is Herschel's farm. It's overrun with zombies. We need to create a new one so it can be better, or, you know, because the fact is, man, we got too many people in we need to clear the chats. We need to clear some of the comment section. We need to clear a lot of people who coming back, bouncing back and forth. You need to block them and get rid of them. Now, the people who actually are not doing a part of that stuff and they on your comment sections, you leave them alone. Because if they're like sitting there participating in the chat because they're bored or whatever, and they're not saying nothing offensive or nothing, you keep them around. But the people who was on there talking shit about you on the opposite side and all this other shit, you get rid of them. And I'm happy this stuff happened. I'm happy. I wanted this to happen back in 2015, 16. I wanted this to happen in like 17, dude. Hangouts, Google Hangouts, when everybody was out there going back and forth. I mean, when I start seeing this stuff happen, real hard body, when not hard body, man, hardcore, like in 2017, when all these women started coming in the manosphere and all this other stuff, I was like, man, we need to regulate this space because there's too many traders and stuff in this space. And the big three, they're traders too. You know, O'Shea and Angry Man and Obsidian, they sold the manosphere and they sold everybody out, dude. And a lot of them didn't benefit from selling people out. Like, Nicole Michelle sold out Obsidian. Half of the people that used to be on the Obsidian panel talked about him now and on other people's panels. Angry Man, half his crew turned on him. The so-called Black Order turned on him. And O'Shea, he's trying to be Mr. Hollywood or what is it? Mr. Mainstream. And now he don't want pro-blacks on his stuff no more and all this other stuff, but he invited them in. And he was trying to negate the stuff that he did, that he was a part of, so he can try to make himself look good to the people that he's trying to sell himself to. Like they also do everybody out, man. And I think it's funny because a lot of people believed in these three dudes. I didn't believe. I believed in one person, and that was because I didn't really believe in him like that. But I could say that I did believe in his overhyped shit, and that was Obsidian. I believe that Obsidian was like a genuine dude who had a gripe. Some of the stuff was outrageous, but he had a gripe. And it was kind of like he was saying stuff that everybody wanted to say. But when he started coming at MGTOW and believing Kevin Samuels and all this other shit, I said, man, fuck this dude. And I left. I bounced. And it seemed like a lot of dudes need a home. I'm starting to see that a lot of dudes, without the big so-called three, because, you know, O'Shea, you know, Gabe A got called out for the stuff that he don't do on O'Shea stuff. But he doing everybody else stuff and go around, he go around trolling and doing all this other extra stuff, calling people names and stuff. And when he get on the panel, everybody chew him out. And I'm happy they chewed him out, man. And I'm like, yo, y'all need to regulate your space, man. Remember, we dealt in the black community, we was an echo chamber for the past 50 years. So it's time for us to gain in some kind of echo chamber. And basically, when one of these dudes come in, we roast the fuck out of them, or we roast the fuck out of them with logic, and that's about it, man. Like Jessica X, Jessica X, she thought she was gonna make a incel stream without any consequences, and that incel stream was nothing about like you think incels didn't hear that they need to go out and do this and do that, and they didn't do that stuff. It was an insult to them, and they got her back. She thought she was going to be safe, and they probably got her identity. I wouldn't be surprised if they grabbed her real picture and know what she really looks like and post it somewhere. Because these dudes are really good at hacking people's stuff and going inside people's stuff. But I wanted to give you the word out about her. That's the reason why she got technical difficulties, is because she crossed the wrong people. So Ghetto Techie and Gabe A didn't protect her. You know, the resident tech guys didn't protect her. But hope she know next time not to mess with incels. Just like you know, some down the grapevine, they saying eventually somebody gonna go after Reg the Bad Guy channel again because he keeps talking about incels. So his shit gonna be going again eventually. They like a lot of people gonna be getting hit because of the fact is that they out here keep talking. Like, leave these people alone. Stop mentioning them in all the stuff. But hey, that's your shit, man. I know how these dudes operate. They'll let people talk shit about them, but if you keep like trying to put bad stuff on them or try to make them look bad or try to do that kind of stuff, it's an insult to them, and they gonna get you back. But I just wanted to say that before I sign off, because I did I have anything else to say? I don't think so, man. But man, like like I'm glad she got hers, man, because her mouth was real ragged on here, man, towards me, towards Ty City, towards everybody. Now, like, it's a couple people on here that that, you know, I seen patch up things with her and shit, and I'm like, yo, dog, she talked mad shit about you. Why you patched up with her? And these are guys who said they so-called true red pill and all that. I'm like, why you apologizing to a girl being cool with a chick when you supposed to have all these girls and all that, man? Like, I showed you my Instagram, and I showed you my choices. I could easily pick somebody from Instagram or another social media site and talk to somebody. But I'm not gonna do that because I don't feel like it. But these dudes, like, it's a lot of fake phony dudes out here, man. And I'm glad a lot of them are getting called out, man. And MOT's doing good work by calling these dudes out. Cause he was on his phase 1 stuff when he was calling a dating coach out. And then phase 2 was, you know, I forgot what the phase 2 was. I forgot what phase 2 was. Oh yeah, the game dudes and reform people. And I think the phase 3 probably be cleaning the site, cleaning the manosphere up of these fake phony dudes. Cause I'm in my certain phase right now that I'm gonna go into eventually, where cause certain things I lost passion to talk about because I already talked about it. But when people give me things and stuff come up, yeah. Other than that, nah. Like I said before, it's gonna be I want to see this space. I want to see this space and what it looks like after it's going from all these fake phony dudes. Because, you know, I'm happier that you don't have a third world Colombian coming up on panels talking, acting. The general stay in his place. He not on there no more. You don't got Black Caesar. You don't have all of these fake feminine women in the chats no more trying to go back and forth with you. Like, it's edging out finally. And that's good to see. Because you can have a basic level panel and it doesn't get disturbed. And that's what happened when you got competent people that runs a platform. You don't have all the drama and the chats and people going back and forth and talking over there and then talking over here. So yeah, man. Yeah, that's about it, man. I just wanted to make that video. Like, what? Yeah, an hour and 7 minutes. But yeah, Jessica X, man, it's funny. Like, a lot of people who talked about incels finally found some nice little packages on their computer, and they didn't know that it was thanks to the incels or whatever. You think the incels are basement dwellers and all this other stuff, but these dudes have real good computer skills, better than the people who so-called work in tech and all that other stuff. Cause Ghetto Techie didn't save her, and Gabe A didn't save her, Simp A didn't save her. So it's kind of funny that they know where to be found to help her reboot her computer back up. They don't let me go to the Windows. They don't let me go into Windows. That day she probably gonna hit up Zero and ask him. They didn't let me go to the Windows. Oh man, I love it, man. I love the fact also when her and Super Sly went at it, man. Two of the people that I dislike the most started going at it. Oh man, when you leave them, and this is my last words right here because I'm gonna be done because you know it's still raining. When you see two people you don't like, it's better to just step out the way and let them fight each other and just sit back and watch them fight and take each other apart. Then whoever's left, they ain't gonna be able to fight no more because one's gonna be too injured to fight, or the other one's gonna be too exhausted to fight you. So you get to take advantage of the situation, and this is gonna happen with the game dudes. the game dudes are gonna eventually start infighting with each other. We leave them alone, let them get in their space, they're gonna eventually start fighting each other, and something's gonna explode. But I'm telling y'all right now, don't let them come back in your spaces. Don't let them even come back in your spaces. Because I've seen this stuff too many times. RT 2.0, when they start fighting each other, they started going to other places and people start blocking them out their chat for the stuff that they did to people. Tiny chat wars. When DJ Killer Touch and Donny Dofat rooms would start going at each other. And that exploded and Killer Touch TV didn't really move off the ground. Everybody started coming back to Tony Dofat and they got blocked, or they had to pay to come back in for them betraying Tony Dofat room. So I seen this before, and I hope hey, I might be wrong about it, but the game dudes are gonna implode each other. They're gonna turn on each other, just like the Black Order turned on each other, just like O'Shea turned on multiple people, just like Obsidian people turned on him, people that gave them a voice on his panels. It's gonna happen eventually. Just let them alone, let them go by themselves, and yeah, that's about it, man.